Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics from entrepreneurs with the guile and experience to help you find success in any marketing capacity. You're listening to Marketing School with your instructors, Neil Patel and Eric Sue.
Welcome to another edition of Marketing School. I'm your host, Eric Sue.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we're going to be talking about how you can find a great consultant. So finding a great consultant is really important, especially in the early days when you don't have the money to hire somebody full-time, but you need the help. So the question is, where do you go find these great consultants? And for me, going to sites such as ProBlogger or going to AngelList, so that's angel.co, and even going to sites like hired.com to find great developers or salespeople, or even using crew.co to find great developers, that's a great place to start. You want to use these job boards, and then the most important thing when you go about looking for these consultants is making sure that you have a great process buttoned down. First things first, what I always like to do is I might like to get on a call with them for 5 to 10 minutes or so, and then I'll run them through a training process or have them do a task where, for example, they might create a screencast telling us what they would do for our website, or they might say, hey, you know, we might have them take a test, a typing test, and just to see how quickly they type, have them find somebody else's email address, show us how they work in Google spreadsheets. It's just to get some a good baseline of how they work online, and do they have the ability to kind of figure things out on their own. So that's kind of how I would start things out. Neil, what would you do when you're starting out to find a great consultant?
I just go to Upwork.com. I know a lot of people think that site is shit, and don't get me wrong, there's a ton of bad talent on that site, but there are some good diamonds in the rough there as well. What you want to do is go look for people related to the task that you need done. Then from there, look at their ratings, look at their reviews, and look at their portfolio. Have they worked on similar things to what you need done? Once you see that, go chat to them on Skype or whatever it may be, and ask them, hey, how can you help me out? And don't just say, what can you do, and give me some generic ideas. Be like, no, here's my website. Here's my ad campaigns, whatever you want help with. Here's my Infusionsoft campaign if you want email automation or whatever it may be. And you say, what would you change or what would you fix? If they say, oh, I'm not sure, I haven't looked at your site, say, no worries. You know, I have all the time in the world. Can you check it out right now? The reason you want to do this is you want them to give you a good answer, an answer that you're happy with on the spot. If they don't, what you'll find is they're not creative, they may not be able to think fast enough, and then generally, they won't be a good fit. If you email someone and you say, hey, you know, here's what I want done, and you give it to them all through like the Upwork messages, they have time to research, get help from other people, and they can craft a response that may be perfect. But if you can get them on the spot through video or chat or whatever it may be, like voice chat, you can figure out really quickly if they're qualified and if they can help you out.
There's some really great job boards out there as well. So, you know, a lot of people think, hey, you know, job boards can be a crapshoot, and sometimes they can. But I know recently, you know, one of our main developers that helps us out right now, he is a contractor. He's in Singapore. Basically, we put a job posting up on CodePen. So it's codepen.io. It's pen like the writing pen. And he reached out to us, and he stood out from everybody else that applied. I think we had over 100 applicants, great developers from across the world. But this guy stood out because he said, hey, here's what I would change on your website, and here's what else I would do. And he basically gave a 90-day plan. And I didn't ask him to do any of this beforehand. He actually took the time to research the website, spend a bunch of hours, and just to tell me what he would do. And then basically, as a developer, you're not expected to know marketing skills. And he understood the nuances around marketing. He was giving me the right vernacular. So that's why we decided to bring him on for a test project. And ever since then, I mean, he's been catching things for us that I otherwise wouldn't have spotted. He's been a huge force multiplier for us. And, you know, he's always looking for new opportunities. So he's not just fine with the status quo. He's looking to go above and beyond. And it's usually these people that will go above and beyond, that will do this assignment, these kind of unassigned assignments for you, that are the ones that will truly, you know, kind of separate themselves from the pack. The other thing I'll say is that I remember, you know, on Growth Everywhere, we had a guy reach out. I think he was using Twitter search, And he reached out and he said, okay, here's exactly what I would do. And then he went above and beyond. He made a screencast and he told me how he would change the website if he was working at Growth Everywhere. And lo and behold, he actually came on to do some project work. We actually ended up hiring him full time. And I made the mistake of firing him. That's probably the only firing that I've ever regretted in my life. And now he's actually working at HubSpot full time.
Another strategy that I love leveraging is LinkedIn. Go on LinkedIn, search for people that work for your competition that would be a great fit for you. I know some of you guys will like this idea, some of you guys will hate it, but it works extremely well. You have to be careful what you give these people. You don't want to give them anything that's sensitive. But for example, if someone, let's say you work at a software as a service company, we have a lot of competitors. If we need design help, why not hire someone who works at the competition is doing an amazing job? Because those people will be like, I already got my day job, pays well. Sure, some extra side cash doing this after work? Why not? And those people aren't consultants or contractors in most cases. So when you ask them to do work after hours, they're like, all right, cool. How much you want to pay me or what do you want? They're not sure how to price these things. You can typically get a lot of work done from people with industry experience, so they have a much higher chance of succeeding and getting the task done correctly and on time. And best of all, you have little to no risk, other than if you provide them with anything that's sensitive. But try it out. I do it all the time. It works well. I just would never do it with anything that's sensitive that they can take back to the company they work for or someone else, and it can ruin our business.
One thing I really like to do is called forced hiring. So this is straight from the playbook of Mark Roberge, who was he was the chief revenue officer and still is at HubSpot. He basically helped them take them from 0 to 100 million, and now they're a public company. And his whole concept around forced hiring, and by the way, this book is called The Sales Acceleration Formula. This is a marketing podcast, but you should read that book. I think it's a must read in today's day and age. There's so many numbers around it, strategies and tactics that you have to check it out. But that's enough about the book. So this concept is called forced hiring, and basically what you do is you can look at your current employees, okay, look at who their friends are, on LinkedIn, and then just search for the friends that have relevant titles. So you're able to look within their friends list, type in specific titles. Let's say I'm looking for a paid advertising manager. Look for those people and then talk to this person. Say, hey, I've gone through your LinkedIn and I've pinpointed 10 people. What do you think of these people, right? And this person will say, oh, so and so is good. These first 2 or 3 people are fantastic. Well, why don't we and then this person will say, well, why don't you go ahead and introduce me to these people? And then we're always looking to hire in more talent, and then you can go and interview these people. So you're actually taking the initiative here, and you're looking for the cream of the crop. These are people that are warm referrals, and they've been extra vetted. So think about the people on your LinkedIn that have a lot of followers out there, and then just go and look at their friends, search for a specific title, and just reach out and say, hey, can you introduce me to this person? From there, you're going out there, you're pretty much sniping, and you're going to find real high quality talent. What I'll always say about consultants / contractors is, these are always part-time to full-time hires. I mean, there's always room for me to hire full-time people, because it's really hard to find great talent at the end of the day.
One other thing that you should think about when hiring consultants, don't try to hire people from major cities. Major cities equal major expenses. People in San Francisco and New York, they have bigger bills than if you find someone from Lincoln, Nebraska, or if you find someone from Bangalore, India, or if you find someone from Romania. Whatever it may be, go for regions where cost of living is much lower and the people need the money, because then when you pay them, even if you may not pay them anywhere near what you would pay someone in San Francisco, it will be a lot of money for them. I remember my buddy Tim, he hired a consultant, he lives somewhere in the Middle East, and his name was Atul. Atul was so happy with Tim that he actually named his firstborn kid Tim. Tim even got him a pair of glasses because he couldn't see, right? I'm not joking, he actually named him Tim. And Tim's like, oh, this is amazing. Like, give the guy a few $100, it goes a long way. He named your kid after you. He's like, I should do more of this. And I was like, hey, he provides good work. Why not, right? But the point I'm trying to make is you can get really good work done overseas for pennies on the dollar.
I love it. And with that said, that's it for today's lesson. We'll see you in tomorrow's lesson of Marketing School.
This session of Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for more daily marketing strategies and tactics to help you find the success you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you in class tomorrow, right here on Marketing School.